everybody? Project Manga is back with episode 18 of the Special Grade Podcast. I'm your host, Nickums.
What's up, y'all? It's Kiko.
Noxie.
As y'all know, we cover Jigoku Raku, Undead Unluck, Kaiju number 8, and Phantom Seer, but this week, we are adding a new title to the Special Grade Podcast. Chapter 1 we will cover, going forward obviously, with The Elusive Samurai.
Let's go.
Written by Matsui Yusei, who he wrote Assassination Classroom, if you've heard of that very popular title. So very excited. Also next week, we'll be adding Shangri-La Frontier out of Kodansha. Well, we'll tell you more about that next week. Before we begin, just want to say thank you all so much for subscribing to the Patreon. We appreciate you so much. We've got a lot of love in the past few months or whatever, so very much appreciate it. Yeah. Special shout out to our newest Special Grade subscriber, Andrew Bradley. Welcome.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? Thank you for having it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Join the Discord.
Yeah. As I was going to say, one more reminder for everyone. Your subscription includes a special Discord role, giving you access to a private channel in the Project Manga Discord, the Special Grade Chat. So go ahead and link your Patreon account to your Discord account, and then you can come chat with us in a more intimate setting with the rest of the Special Grade subscribers. All right. Well, let's start off here with Chapter 1 of The Elusive Samurai, The Slaughter of 1333. And yeah, I mean, like, this is a Chapter 1 here, so I mean, yeah, do we want to start with, like, comments just generally about how you feel about the title? Like, how excited are you for this series?
I just want to say real quick that I didn't read the title of the chapter before I read it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I had no idea that the events of this chapter were going to take place the way that they did. I'm literally just now seeing that this is the title right now.
That's hilarious.
But this color page is crazy, man.
So I guess you also did not know, since you didn't read the title, that these are all real people, right?
Yeah.
Like, all of these people are like literal historical people from like that period.
That was going to be a question that I had for you, actually, because like, obviously you can feel it when you start reading it that this is very historical. Because it's giving you dates and it's giving you first and last names of very important people in this date and time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I figured, like, this is either this world, obviously their lore, or it's like real world lore. So I was excited to ask you guys about
real world lore. These are all real people around all these names.
Love that, especially from like a shonen manga today. Like, when was the last time you had that Rurouni Kenshin? But like, not really, because that was still like deviated like heavily, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, well, I mean, I guess this is probably going to deviate heavily too, but we'll see how close it is to, you know, to real history. But Kenshin Kenshin was talking about some real ass shit too, but that was a long ass time ago, man.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. It's been a while,
wasn't it? I want to say,
I'd have to think
in Shonen.
I'd have to think harder about it, but you could be right for sure.
And this is a little bit of an older time period too. There's not gonna be any guns, you know, in 1331. So
no guns.
We strictly taijutsu out here. You know, we're about to swords and hopefully other weapons. You know, like I'm you know, assuming all the you know, feudal Japanese weapons. Get some, you know, pole arms in that bitch. Get some maybe fucking kusarigama, my favorite weapon of all time.
Yes.
Like, I just love kusarigama all day.
Yes.
That's
like,
Kama and Chain, right?
Yes. If it's just like if we just get all the tight fucking Japanese weapons, it's like, you usually can sell me just with that shit right there. You know?
Absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, like, looking at this fucking beautiful like cover chapter, like, it's like, dude, he's got the best strip in 1333 and 2021. How do you
Stop it. Like, bro.
How do you do it?
I didn't even realize, like, from the first time that I looked at the color page, how drippy he was for this time. You know what I mean? Because I, like, saw the garb. You know, I looked at the page, you know, but I guess my brain just decided this was regular samurai gear. And then you know, and then I go into a couple pages
this motherfucker's a prince. He should be styling like this.
But I go a couple pages in and I see him full bodied for the first time, you know, on page 8. And I was like, wait a minute, this is a different kind of, like, I feel like I've never seen such a cool kimono in a manga before.
For sure.
Like, this is really, and so I went back to the cover and I was like, bro, what?
Yeah.
It looks like somebody from, like, Square helped design this kid's, outfit. Like this looks like Square Enix Samurai.
Needs a few more zippers and belts, but definitely it's very intricate, right? It's super intricate. I love the Triforce pattern on the pants and the butterflies, man. I love butterfly pattern. So
the peacock feathers coming off the the back.
And I'm pretty confident there's like peacock lore within Japan, like they are able to even elude the rain. Dodge. So I'm pretty confident that's what they're going for with this.
Okay.
Nice.
I was gonna say, like, is it not like Phoenix or it is?
I thought it was Phoenix,
a lot like Peacock.
So here's where, man, there's so many fucking pages.
The wing is like Peacock.
Yeah. And even the tail, like, I mean, obviously the peacock tails, but the peacock tail normally is like conjoined, right? But like, I'm pretty sure it's illustrated a lot of the time where it is like separated like that. But like, okay, so 44, that like, you got.
You're saying page 44?
Yep, page 44. Yeah. Just to skip and look at this.
Yeah. That's I mean, it looks Phoenixy. It's fiery and
I initially thought Phoenix myself too, but like I just looking at it and just with like I don't know, so many colors. Like even like the tail, each tail is a different color. I feel like that's more of a peacock thing where it's like Phoenix. I feel like is usually
top of the head though colors. Is like Moltres. Like if you see the energy like coming off the top.
Yep.
Reminds me of Moltres right now. So it's
either way, like Phoenix or Peacock, both would be super sick. I mean, like Peacock is like you're flexing in terms of your style, right? Like you're like super, peacocking, right? And then Phoenix, Marco the Phoenix, you can't go wrong with Phoenix either. So it's like super fucking cool.
Moltres is like a fire peacock.
Yeah, or like Ho-Oh, like is Ho? You're the Pokemon guy, Kiko. Like I don't know.
So they're all kind of peacocks.
Yeah, aren't they? Like Articuno.
Yeah. They all feel like. I mean, Zapdos looks just like a crazy ass mad fucking pecking bird. So I don't know. It was a crazy beak, straight fucking drill peck the shit out of you.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Other than that, the rest of them all feel like they kind of look like a peacock. But
Right.
Regardless, obviously, super beautiful. Like this is one of the most beautiful fucking manga now that is clearly out. It's like, hey, Kaiju number 8, you're no longer the best looking fucking manga on this fucking panel anymore, and that's a little bit subject for debate because that's definitely.
I would have agreed there before Elusive Samurai came out, bro.
The Kaiju was the best art that we have on this show until this came out, and it's like, I mean, the double spread on 42, 43, the 42, 43. It's like the most magnificent, like
even more
spectacular. I don't even know what word like adjective I could even use for this. Like just
not just 42, 43.
Oh yeah,
40 from page 40 all the way to 45. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But yes, like that double spread is really like the crowning jewel of that whole progression or whatever. But like 40, great line work, like just super like Matsui, his art is so crisp, so clean, so like easy to see.
Ken Akamatsu level.
Yes.
Of like line work, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like compare UQ holder to this, and I feel like that you could compete, you know what I mean? Like try to find a broken line. Like, you know what I mean? Like which manga do you find a broken line in?
Yeah.
First?
Right.
And I think it's even taken a step further with like the realism. Because like if you look at 28, 29, man.
Look God.
Look how beautiful this man is. Like,
it's the texture.
We all wish we were as pretty
technique.
as this guy.
I mean, speak for yourselves, but
all right. I mean, you gotta get rid of that mustache first, maybe.
Come on, man! I'm trying to channel my inner Freddie Mercury right now, bro. I've been listening to tons of Queen.
All right, cool.
But no, but the texture technique that Matsui uses is one of my favorites. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's a lot more common to see this technique in newer manga. I feel like this is a very modern shading. And lighting, illustration technique, but the way that he paints it is just like different. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he uses a lot more of it than most mangaka, I want to say. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's like a style of its own. You know what I mean? I don't remember this in Assassination Classroom from what I read, but that is a much older story.
Right.
You know
right.
But
for sure,
you probably remember, but.
Yeah.
Do you think his art has updated hella since the Assassination Classroom, or?
This is very, very reminiscent of Assassination Classroom in the sense that like Assassination Classroom was also clean, crisp, like bold line work. Just super solid art. I definitely, it's been a long time since I've read Assassination Classroom, but I believe you when you say that like it does look better. I mean, it looks really fucking good. So like it's easy for me to say that it's better.
I know that you finished it, so you saw like the end art, like the final art of the manga for Assassination
Classroom.
And
let me just say for the record, like I love Assassination Classroom. It is one of my favorite manga. Like for the record, if you've not read Assassination Classroom, it is really good. And there are actually a lot of similarities between this concept and Assassination Classroom. And I'll touch on them as we go through the chapter conversation. So I'm actually. You can't tell, but I'm super excited for this fucking manga. Like I love Matsui Yusei, I love Assassination Classroom, so I know this is gonna be fucking phenomenal. Like I'm completely convinced already.
Did you have a manga before Assassination Classroom?
I don't think so, but I'm not like a super expert or anything. I just really love Assassination Classroom for sure. But I'll touch on those things like as we go over whatever. Yes. But like going back to page 1 or whatever, right? I love just how it starts, right? Like think about samurai, and it's like samurai. What is the samurai spirit, right? Like valorous death in combat, noble suicide, right? Like doing, never backing down from a challenge, right? And it's like, no, this dude, he's gonna be a hero from running away, not dying, like elusive, like living to tell the tale, right? Like super interesting, like right out of the gate.
Very incredible, like premise. You know what I mean? And like at first, I was like, okay, like is this dude's power just going to be I'm Usopp, the main character, you know what I mean? And as I'm going through it, I was like, how long can they last on that? Like he's gotta be tight, like he's gotta fight, like even though he's an elusive samurai, like does that mean that he's never going to fight, or does that mean that you just can't hit him? You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking when I was going through it. And then by the end of the chapter, obviously, I'm like, no, this dude is going to be able to fight. But the gimmick is that you can't assassinate him. Right. Which is like which is a main thing, in this time period, especially for like the conflict that is set up towards the end.
You phrased that so perfectly to tie into my first tie-in with Assassination Classroom, right? So like the main character, the main character, he's like the yellow octopus guy, right? With wearing the college uniform, whatever. His name's Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei is a portmanteau of Koro Senai, unkillable, and sensei, Koro Senai Sensei, Koro Sensei, unkillable teacher, right?
Yeah.
So his gimmick is that he's super fast. He's really, really fast, and you can't. So you can't kill him. He's elusive. He's fast.
He's
the unkillable.
Same character.
So this dude is like the same concept, right? Like fast, elusive, maybe unkillable, right? We know like based on this concept, right, that he's not gonna die, right? Yeah. But like already setting out from the gate that he's a quick, elusive type fighter, right? So like very already out the gate, right? Similar to Koro Sensei.
I love that. I never I know that much about Assassination Classroom, and I still didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it feels like he could be very judo-esque, right? Like when you're like using other people's fucking momentum against them and dodging and making people hit each other. And fucking, like it's gonna be like
that's
fighting,
totally gonna be his fighting style.
Yeah, a passive fighting style.
It's gonna be the dad, you just feel it, or it's gonna be the remember Kung Fu Hustle, the couple. The moms or the lady smoked cigarettes, and then the dad was a rubber man, and he always made people run into each other, always like dodged everything at the last moment, like made your shit bounce off of. Oh, dude, my man, I just remember that.
No, Kung Fu Hustle's one of the greatest of all time.
I literally thought about Kung Fu Hustle.
I watch it like every other year.
Like thinking ahead to Jigokuraku and like the Hong Kong stuff, and like Kung Fu Hustle, Shaolin Showdown. That's a Hong Kong. Those are Hong Kong movies, right? Anyway. Little tie-in for later.
Yes.
Sure.
So
you were in
like
the middle
this dude.
Of something though, I think, Kiko. Before I cut you off, you were about.
No, that was all it was. Is just talking about like how I feel like his fighting style is going to be like. Just, I mean, especially with the 42-43 double spin, like jumping off of people and bouncing around, very fucking Gran Torino-ish, maybe even kind of. Yeah. So like
like a monkey. But like going deeper into the chapter, we got this dude Ashikaga Takauji, this beautiful, strong, like the epitome of a samurai or whatever, right? And everyone loves him, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm like gonna go uphold the honor of the Hojo family or whatever, right? And like I did not really expect him to be a betrayer type thing. You know what I mean? I was like, this is going to be maybe like a mentor type, but no, he's like the foil to the main character. So sick of a concept.
Dude,
the hide from the demon foreshadowing at the beginning was it just slapped. Like it's bolded, so it's just like, you could think like, okay, elusive samurai, he's gonna hide from something later, but it's like, I just never thought it was this guy was the demon, right? Like it's just you didn't think it. I didn't see it coming at all.
Matsui flexing, his skill and experience and proficiency inside of this field. You know what I mean? With storytelling techniques like that. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
That's shit that like, you notice shit like that and you're like, okay, this motherfucker knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
For sure. And like to go a little deeper into what we mentioned earlier, that these are all based on real people, right? And I love this page 12-13 combination of pages where it's like this kid Hojo Tokiyuki, the MC, like his name is mentioned in textbooks, but everyone like forgets it after the test. I love how it's phrased, right? Like he's a super minor character in history. But then the next page is like, he was as vibrant as a shonen manga hero. It's like, here we go, baby. Here we go. Ready for this shit.
I loved that. Fucking so that makes me think, so like, who is this narrator?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you're going to say as a shonen manga hero, it's like that means that you're like in our world,
right?
Or something.
Or
similar.
Is it like literally the author? Like, is it Matsui talking or something? Yeah, it's like that's a great. I didn't think about that. That's a great question.
Yeah. That's I mean, it definitely still could be like somebody from their time period too, which this would be like, like this would be a little misleading to do that. But I just, when you said that to me, it's just like, I always like, especially with a heavy, like, we're going to get to it. Like, it's a heavy political story already, right away. Like, politics are a big deal in this, and backstabbing and all sorts of shit's going to happen. So it's like, when you just hear, like, I wonder who the narrator is, it's just like, oh, shit. In a story like this.
But I don't know if there would be somebody in this time, because, like, the shonen demographic didn't come out until after World War II.
No
50s
way.
Or whatever. 40s, 50s, whatever. Yeah.
But, no, because they said shonen. They definitely said shonen manga, so it's
so definitely it's
the manga
at least,
part.
At least this part is not a present day or not present day, but that time period, 1333, not that kind of person, right?
Unless this is a mistranslation, not a mistranslation, but just like a translation that could have been, he's like the main character of like a boys comic book.
Oh, so like an equivalent word that would have been from back then. That means
just main
essentially
character
the same
of a story.
thing.
Yes.
Main character of a story.
Because then it could be what Keiko is saying, that the narrator is still someone from inside of the story.
Yeah.
But
I can see it because like storytelling is one of the key parts of Japanese culture, right? And there's been since the ukiyo-e woodblock paintings that have been essentially the way old precursor of manga, like these there's like that old ass comic, it's like 12 monkeys fighting or something like that, and it's like it's just a bunch of wood blocks or whatever, like in a comic format, right? Like panels and shit like that. So like manga, it wasn't called manga, but it's been a part of history for a long time. Maybe not 1300s, but like a long ass time, hundreds and hundreds of years.
Or it could be a student who like really loves the story of the main character and is like, how could people forget this? Like this dude, like this is like in the future. This is in the future. You know what I mean? Like where this dude is like really into this history and is like, this dude gets all the love and praise, but like this dude was really doing all of the shit. Like a historian fanboy.
Sure.
Could be
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that.
Never-ending story situation, but instead of the kid reading the book, he's writing the book.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, because he's not revered in textbooks like he should be, so this kid is writing his real story.
Sure.
Yo.
Be super tight.
Hell yeah.
I love that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we go deeper in here, and I love this. Well, actually, one second. To go back a bit, there's a really good interaction, page 8 and 9. Page 8 and 9, really good interaction between this Kyoko character, right? Where this girl is like, don't listen to him. Like you're gonna give him orders someday because his family is like this regent family that controls the shogunate or whatever. But like, I love where she says like on page 10 and 11, he's like, I don't care if he's a puppet, right? I'm gonna live in luxury. He's kind. He may be talentless and lazy and weak-willed, but he's kind. And this it puts the MC here, Tokiyuki, in the same category as Deku, Tanjiro from Kimetsu no Yaiba, Emma from Promised Neverland, like the new generation of MCs that are kind. They're not so much dumb. They're not so much like super violent, going to beat the shit out of you. They're kind. But they will beat the shit out of you in kindness.
I love this scene. I love this scene because this woman is clearly being shown to kind of like seem like a gold digger, right? But the way that I interpreted this is that think about her typical husband. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and if you didn't want the typical husband, you'd probably want like a warrior husband or something like that. Because you want to live, you know, some kind of, you know, cool life, I guess, maybe. Yeah. But like, if you think about it, you know what I mean? Like, how many people are either in positions of power and don't know what to do with it, or want those positions and they're just shitty people all around? When you see a kind person that is about to be in a position of power and you're trying to secure your future and you want to go with the kind one because you don't want to get beat all day, abused, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I see this as a woman trying to take advantage of the system that keeps women in shitty relationships all the fucking
Fantastic point.
You know
Fantastic point.
I saw this originally as like, dude, this chick's kind of a bitch. But then I was like, no, like she's trying to get her bag and get a better life than most people in this time period get. You know what I mean?
Nicely said. Yeah, nothing wrong with trying to get someone who's kind and good to you or whatever. Like in you must imagine that like 1300s Japan must be a hellish time, right? Like people killing you in the streets. Especially for women. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So no, great point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see here.
We'll see a little later.
I mean, oh my god. Okay, I just want to say. So remember the point that I was making in Kaiju number 8, maybe a month or so back, about how the style of the art leads you into a false sense of security as far as when drastic dark shit happens. You don't think it's going to because of the art style. When I tell you, when this dude's half brother got his fucking head chopped off, I didn't think that it was his brother. Like it was that.
I thought it was somebody else too.
Yes,
I had to go back. I had to go back
like 4 times. I was like, no.
But look at the. Yeah. Look at the beauty of these panels, right? Go to page 25. Bottom of page 25, the ball is falling. You're playing ball. Ball's falling. Then the top of page 26, the head is falling. Such a fantastic panel progression there. Love it.
And into the page turn, too. Like, it's into the page turn. Like
the page turn's crucial. To show, like, oh my God, we just turned a page here, and now we're in a fucking different section of the story.
You couldn't put both of those things on the same page.
No.
That's something you have to page turn into.
It's definitely wild, just how extremely intense this story is, but it has just like that beautiful elegance to it that you just like. It's just graceful. Like, I don't know, you just don't. It's just. I think even more so than like Kaiju number 8. Like this was such a pretty manga. Like I was just like, man, and just the cover, so many vibrant colors, and just such a man. And just
MC's little kid.
Yes.
Yeah. I just never thought this was going to be the first chapter of this manga. Not at all.
Right.
Not fucking at all.
But isn't this always the way that the best stories like kind of like start out? Look at UQ Holder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First chapter is like bright, vibrant, shit, and then it goes fucking left out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like Hunter x Hunter. It takes a little bit longer, but like bright, vibrant color palette, playful, music, playful character designs.
You're spitting right now.
Head gets cut off in like episode 5 out of like nowhere. Hisoka cuts your head off with a playing card. And it's like I love that. Like that's how you like. I'm so ready for this to blossom into what it's going to become, because it's like.
Let's great point. Let's go back to page like 16, 17. So this is when like Tokiyuki is saying he loves the city or whatever, and then he meets this duo, right? This like shrine maiden or whatever, and this dude who's like a Shinto priest, right? Suwa Yorishige. This dude obviously is a big player in the chapter, and he's going to be a big player in the story or whatever. I want to throw out some more assassination classroom comparisons here. This dude, he's like he's like shining for some reason. He has a future sight ability, it seems. He has these weird ass eyes that we see in some panels, and basically. What I'm getting at here, like he looks super shady, right? Like Tokiyuki is not thrilled about the situation. He's like super skeptical of this guy.
Yeah.
This dude also has similar vibes to Koro Sensei in a different way, right? Where like Tokiyuki is like I said, like elusive, fast, unkillable seeming, physical capabilities.
Yeah,
exactly. This dude Suwa, he has like the emotional aspects of Koro Sensei, where like this dude, he seems weird, right? Koro Sensei is a yellow tentacle monster.
Yeah.
He seems untrustworthy, right? But like deep down, he's actually like super like sweet, and like he loves people, and like he's really great. This dude, I think, he's meant to be portrayed as like super shady, and you're not supposed to trust him. But deep down, I guarantee you, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be a huge mentor and teacher and supporter of Tokiyuki.
I feel like that hits harder in storytelling almost across the board than the opposite situation where you think someone is great and then they end up being a piece of shit. I don't know if that's because we see the latter more, but like I just think that like that's always awesome because it's like you're expecting the subversion on the opposite end. So whenever someone is great, it gets to a point where it's like, is this person too great? You know what I mean? And then and then you get the twist or you don't. But like there's so much history there that gives you that skepticism. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's not as much history to give you the skepticism that a piece of shit will eventually be a good being a good person. So it hits. I feel like it hits harder in this situation.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
And I love Yoda-Shige's like his future sight ability, man. It's just so cool to have a future sight ability where it's like you only see events, but like you don't really know the result of those events. And so he's like, it leaves him sit there and kind of like speculate on it. So he's like muttering like, maybe that could be, but like, well, if it does go this way, then like, well, it's just like I just love that so much. Like I just love the fact that it's like you got future sight, you can see events, you could see pictures, you don't really see it's not omnipotence or what, like you can't you gotta fucking have let's not OP this guy obviously in a story like this right now, especially when the character's going to be able to elude attacks on his own. You don't need to be telling him all that shit, right? Like
exactly.
And I love how it's delivered here because obviously this is a very interesting aspect to the storytelling that this guy is a clairvoyant to some degree. You know what I mean? So you want that whimsical, aspect in a historical story that can very easily get boring with historical facts and regular, mundane conversations between people who aren't superpowered and spectacular. So you have to cut that up with supernatural things like this. But the fact that he has the caveat on his clairvoyance the way that he does introduces his character quirk of mumbling and not finishing his sentences, which is just like, you're a fucking champion author, bro. Like this is the kind of skill that like, this is the level of skill that's very rare in my opinion. You know what I mean? And I personally love seeing, like, this is a very Eastern thing where you give all of your characters different quirks. You know what I mean? Like obviously this dude mumbles through everything, like and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. Every characters that always say something at the end of their sentences. Characters that have a specific laugh in One Piece. You know what I mean?
Like this is super bad.
I love seeing how authors write those.
Like half the Dr. Stone characters have something like that.
Right. Oh yeah, and like Gen speaks in Pig Latin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pig Latin, exactly. Yeah.
Like I
really dislike that, but yes, that is definitely a type of quirk that you're talking about.
Yes, I love seeing how Japanese, authors, like how they write their characters, because there's such a style over in the East that you don't get you don't get character like a character quirk understanding in Western storytelling, like Eastern authors just know that that's the thing, you know what I mean? So
hell yeah. Another Assassination Classroom similarity here with this character, right? So on page 21, bottom of page 21, this Suwa fellow is saying like, hey, for the record, I saw the future 2 years from now. Like you when you're 10, he's 8 right now. When you're 10, like you will be a hero who shakes heaven. So the similarity here with Assassination Classroom is that right out of the gate, also in Assassination Classroom, right out of the gate, he gives you a timeline, right? We're gonna be around for 1 year and then shit's gonna go down, right? So right out the gate, Assassination Classroom has a timeline of 1 year. Here, right out the gate with Elusive Samurai, we have a timeline of 2 years, which is like, I think speaks greatly to Matsui's writing style, right? He knows exactly, I guarantee you, he knows exactly what this story is going to be right now.
Yeah.
The entire thing, front to back, the whole thing front to back.
Yeah.
And it is, I guarantee you, it is like there's no loose ends going to be in this thing. Assassination Classroom was no loose ends, you know what I mean? Like it was like just solidly written. And like this
how
many
chapters is it? Do you know roughly?
Assassination Classroom?
Yeah.
180.
180. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like 179, 180, something like that. Yeah.
Because I mean, like when it's a perfectly like rounded off number like that, though, it makes you like feel like, okay, this has been systematically, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
well, and the reason I was asking is because I mean, because there's a 2-year time frame on this story, do you think he knows that it's going to be twice as long as, I mean, would he really think he would structure something like that? Like, do we think we're getting
that would be
a 350 chapter? Yeah.
That would be so
crazy.
like 360 would be, like that would be super meta. But mostly, I guess that's a beautiful theory. I love that. Mostly my assumption is that basically I don't think this is going to drag on, right? This story.
Sure.
I like Matsui's style, as far as I believe it to be, is that he's going to go completely, like the pacing's going to be perfect. It's going to be like front to back, just the story he wants to tell and no more, right?
Sure,
he's not not going to be like, oh yeah, let's just stretch it out because the editors are telling me to, you know what I mean? So I think he's going to have an end in sight. I love the 360 number though. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for sure. That's a big theory, if that's true.
We definitely, but man, if you feel like it's just like, if it's a concise writer, I don't want a 360 chapter manga,
it wouldn't go that far, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's fun getting a Chainsaw Man, even if that's just part 1. It's fun getting 100 chapter or whatever, 200 chapters, and we're just done, and we got a full, secure, nice, well-rounded story, and everything felt good, and it didn't have to go 500 chapters because I need more money.
Or because my publication line wants more money.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Damn. All right, so we've already touched on the beheading and how ridiculous that was. We touched on
this entire slaughter scene is like very like, I was like, man, like this scene really, we've been talking about how shonen storytelling has been evolving, you know what I mean, like over time,
right?
The landscape, how the landscape seems to be, inherently have like a different tone, inside of the genre or whatever,
right?
And this right here is like this is like something you see in like a seinen manga.
Yeah.
This is a scene right out of Berserk to me. You know what I mean?
I'm so surprised that like, sorry to cut you off or whatever, but like on page 26, where like it's like, and attackers violated and murdered the Kyoko character, right? Like they just say straight up. That's what happened. And it's like, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
When I saw the cover page with this little boy who's beautiful and he's like, yeah, we're going to have a great time. Elusive, right?
Yeah.
I did not expect this.
Not with all those vibrant pinks and teals on the fucking colors.
Nobody else is elusive. They didn't elude.
This is just one Elusive Samurai.
Shit.
Not an elusive village, unfortunately.
Oh no. Damn.
That's so fucked up, man.
Big oof.
Right.
No, because it's just like you get to that part of the story and you're just like, flip back a couple pages.
I had to. Sure? I was like,
am I sure this is the story I've been reading the entire time? Where's like, is there some kind of secret that I missed in these first 20 chapters that I didn't? And it's just like, nope. Here you go, deep end.
Yep.
Figure it out.
0 to 100.
Shit.
Gone in 60 seconds, bro.
Shit. Page 3031. Just after this scene we've talked about before with this homie Takauji. The paneling, the line work, this dude holding up the sword, Takauji or whatever, right? Like, my God, I love the line work in this page, in this double page. Oh my God.
I think that there is a beautiful piece of art. Like something that is worthy to be printed out and blown up on every single page of this first chapter.
Right?
And there's fucking like 55 of these pages or 31 pages. I don't even know like what it.
No, it's 56 pages.
56 you know what I mean? Like, this is some of the best. This is one of the best first chapters of a shonen manga that I've ever read.
Ever.
I think so. I think so.
This might be in like the top 3.
Gas. It's just too gas.
It's like Promised Neverland, Death Note, fucking Elusive Samurai.
Let's at least agree. I when you put it like that,
It
can't be number 3, but let's just agree that it is an S tier chapter 1,
sure,
right? This is the premium quality first chapter, like amazing.
It doesn't get much better than this.
Before we leave this page here, obviously we it's not a newsflash. I love politics. I also love maps, and we are moving from Kyoto to what is it in Kamakura?
Yeah,
which
that's their city here, the village.
Their city, but
you're having a great time with this.
Yeah, right.
That's right across like a peninsula from like Edo, right? Like Tokyo. Yeah. That's where Tokyo is. So it's like this guy is moving towards Edo to take over the entire country, is what it feels like. Yeah, because it's the way because that's Kyoto, because where they
Kyoto's the left one.
Yes, the left one, and they're moving to the right side.
And the right one, the more down and right, that's Edo. That's basically Edo.
Yeah, basically Edo, because you would turn it this way. It's weird that the map's like that. It needs to be turned like fucking 30 degrees, 40 degrees,
like 90 degrees.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But it's like I really believe this man is he's conquering the whole shit. He's trying to hit Edo next and become I'm running the whole bitch.
I mean, you can look him up. You can look up this dude.
Oh my God!
What's his
look
name
at
again?
How the
Ashikaga Takuji. You can look him up on Wikipedia.
So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the silhouette of Japan over his body is like low opacity. It's like transparent.
Yes.
You can see his fucking like striations and shit through the fucking shit.
I did not notice that until you just mentioned that, because that is amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it.
Oh my Matsui, what are you doing right now? Like, fam, was Assassination Classroom his Yu Yu Hakusho, and he's about to drop his Hunter x Hunter right now inside.
Don't even fucking say that, because if that's true, I am gonna be feasting for the next 3-4 years. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's wild.
Yo.
All right, so let's keep going here.
Sent the 3-year-old.
They sent the 3-year-old. I'm sure you love this too, Kiko. Like just the politics of sending like obviously someone who can't even talk. Figurehead to lead an army, because like the army is so loyal to Takeuji that like they know what to do. They know what to do. Yeah, go take that city or whatever, right? Like who cares if a little boy is running it, even though it's like the son? Is it the son? Yeah, he sent his 3-year-old son.
Son.
Right?
Yeah. So
crazy.
Yeah. And then we get to see the father here, the idiot father who was just drinking and allowed himself. I mean, it's hard to say that we know. It's hard to say that we know if he allowed himself to be a puppet. Sure. Shogunate, fucking whatever. The Han. What are they? What is their Hojo? Hojo clan? Is that what? Yeah. So yeah. I mean, this dude too. Like right from like the first page, like or whatever. We first see him, like first couple of pages in, he's drooling and dude. It just. I always feel like that. Man, the way that dude was drawn, just always feel like the the 2 guys in Hunter that were pets, Yonju's pets that come in on drugs, fucking crying on their elbows. Like I just like, as soon as I saw this guy too, I was like, that was the only thing I was like, man, this dude's face is out of place for how pretty this manga is. So I feel like we're gonna get to, but I just still didn't think it was this much this soon.
Wow, yeah, no, that is a good little indicator, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
It totally does have that vibe of those dogs from the kind of dark.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah.
So into page 33, 34 here, where this Suwa has come back, right? This priest guy. And he's like, all right, we're gonna fucking I'm gonna save you. You're gonna come with me, right? I love this scene where he's I guess page 37, like Tokiyuki is like super, again, still very much like very skeeved out by this guy. He doesn't trust him or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then dude fucking pushes him off like, oh, if you want to die so bad, like join your family or whatever, like die. Oh my god! And then we get into the panels
we're talking about. Like, this is the Hojo boy. Get him. Get him.
Yeah. He says who it is. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? But he knew he would survive.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
40, 41. Yeah, right. 40, 41, 42, 43. All these pages, just phenomenal art. Absolutely incredible.
I feel like we got to talk about this double spread here, because it's like now
42, 43.
Yeah, like because I'm looking at it, bro, and it's like at first I was
at it
like,
for 10 minutes.
Yeah, like at first I was like, okay, this is very sensory overload kind of for me right now because of how incredible it is and everything that's going on. But then like I kind of like focused in and like kind of like calmed down and looked at it, and I was like, even though the first movement, you know, from top right to like bottom like middle or to like middle right or whatever, the illustration for the movement is like very cut off, but it's still there, you know what I mean? So I missed that at first, so like I was wondering how my eye like path was like totally like wrong because of that. But then like once I like saw it, I was like, and I was like, bro, like it's all there, you know what I mean? Like everything, it
reminds me of like Gege. Like, you know, like showing so many actions in one panel, but like I would say better, more clear than Gege can be, right? Gege sometimes can be a little difficult to grok, you know what I mean? Difficult to fully understand what's going on. If you stare at it long enough, you can pretty much always figure out what's going on. But this is a lot easier to like just jump right in and be like, oh yeah, very clear what is going on here.
Yes, it's obviously the different pens, you know what I mean, that are used, because you have way thicker line work, you know what I mean, everywhere that it needs to be, and then you have way thinner line work, you know what I mean? It's way easier to see the whole thing, you know, from afar rather than having to focus in and follow it.
And I love on 39, you actually get to see all four of these dudes in this panel, right in this middle
what page?
Awkward so it's 39 in the middle panel. These are all four of the dudes, right? Like in 42, 43, because that kind of helped me gauge what exactly happens in 42, 43. He lands on horse dude in the back who's drinking the sake. You know, comes down on buddy with the pole arm. And then
holy
fucking
shit.
Flips and fucking kicks buddy with the fucking in the head. He has a samurai sword. They both have katanas. Both those next two dudes have katanas. But you get to see exactly who he hit in what order when looking at that other panel there.
Oh my god, Kiko, that is some eagle eye shit, bro.
Shit.
It's
that's amazing.
When he pushed him off the cliff, I felt like I had future sight. Like I felt like I knew that this panel was going to happen. I was like, man, this shit is so tight. I know this is about to be tight. But before I even push this button over here to just go to the next panel, and I'm like, okay, it's not quite it. It's not quite it. Boom, next button. Oh, damn, there it is.
That's so great.
Oh man, with all of the paneling on the page leading into the double spread is just like masterful, because it's like you can totally tell that Hoju is falling down. You know what I mean? Like he's falling straight towards these blades, but the blades are superimposed over, obviously, because it's just a paneling technique. But like the way that the first hand comes out of the divider of the page, in physical form, that shit probably hits so hard right there. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god!
I love the symbolism that goes back to the beginning, you know, or metaphorical demon faces here on these guys, and right back to the cover where they're all demon faces, basically ravaging the village. You know, like that was probably, I guess I should have took that clue, but it's just like no, it's too pretty.
I just went back
to the color spread. Love that. I want to go back a little bit for a very quick joke or whatever to 38, right? Page 38, top right panel. He's saying, like, I refuse to trust a fraudulent shaman. He calls him a shaman, right? And of course, we've already, I think it's just hilarious, you know, there's like Phantom Seer, Jujutsu Kaisen. But Suwa introduced himself as a Shinto priest, right? He's like, he said priest. Now, here's shaman. So I just like that this dude is a shining Shinto shaman. Just thought that was funny.
I'm a big fan of alliteration.
Yeah, right.
So I will eat
all
about
that.
Alliteration, baby.
Yes.
I want to go back one more page to 37, and again, I was already talking about you know, the metaphor of running from the demon or whatever, playing you know, whatever, hide from the demon. And it's, you can't run from me, young lord. He got caught by this dude who is trying to catch him and kill him. It's been hammered in now 3 times in this one chapter.
Wait a minute.
That you can't get away from me. And this is going to be the premise of this story is you need to get away from me, but you haven't been able to do it yet in your life. So only person who can catch him.
So jumping ahead to 47, we get this explicit juxtaposition, right? Where like this dude like it's yin and yang, right? In the background of this bottom panel in 47, you see the yin yang. Like one dude is like, I'm gonna kill people to become a hero, and you're going to live to become a hero. Beautiful.
Yes. This is my favorite panel of the chapter.
The yin yang one.
Yeah, not even like the page, like just this panel right here.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick.
It is the. I feel like there is so much more than even like we're analyzing right now, like to do with this panel. Because I mean, obviously you have the yin yang in the background, you know what I mean, and then you have, you know, the big threat. Obviously, he's been magnified, you know, bigger than his body actually is. Right. You know what I mean? With Hojo like right next to it, you know what I mean, to imply how big of an obstacle he's going to be for the main character. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the arrows necessarily symbolize yet. But I'm sure that's
how he's elusive. He ain't getting hit by that shit.
Okay. So he's weaving. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's weaving in and out of the arrows. Okay.
Yep.
So that probably just symbolizes like all of the peril he'll meet on his way to conquering.
What's at the end of those arrows? Like, look at
that's another thing that I was going to say.
That's like the special kind of arrowhead they had, I think, back then.
Weird.
Yeah, but see, like the ones that are hard to dislodge if you get hit with them, right?
No, they don't look like they would be hard to dislodge though, because look at the blade actually, they look kind of easy. They look like they would slip right out. Yeah, unless you're not all the way past the bobber. Then you might have some issues. But
I'm not an arrow expert.
I'm not an arrow expert.
It just looks to me like, I mean, it must be intentionally drawn that way, right? So it must be like historically. I mean, but then again, like on page 46, right to the left or to the right or whatever. Yeah. Those ain't that kind of arrow. Those are regular ass arrows. So now, now I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But man, this page is just perfect. That panel is just a perfect panel.
I mean,
the layering of the arrows over
super sick. Yeah,
because obviously those arrows aren't aimed at Takauji. So like they're just over, you know, they're just not involved in his render. But
definitely towards Hojo.
But Hojo, you like look at the layering on it. You have some parts of him that are over some arrows. Arrows are like there's more depth, you know, even though
like there's one going between his legs.
Between the legs,
yeah. And then look at the bottom of his right foot, arrow over the heel, but then like the arrow above it is behind the shin. So it's just like the layering is just like I love it.
I wanted to comment on here since we're on this page or whatever, page 46. Suwa is saying like your survival instinct is monstrous. You have an unmatched talent for staying alive, which I get some based on this chapter, right, where you know that people getting their heads cut off, you know, rape and pillaging and bad shit going down, right? Like when I hear someone say like your survival instinct is monstrous, now I'm like, oh man, like what kind of stuff like are we gonna get Hojo in, right? Like gore, anguish, intense pain, intense situations, because just elusive doesn't necessarily only mean I'm gonna dodge everything. It might mean I'm elusive in the sense that like maybe you'll capture me, but I'm gonna escape. Maybe you'll hurt me, but I'm not gonna die, right? Like, like we can get some really intense stuff.
Illusion can extend into his personality as well. You know what I mean? So like we could see him, you know, like a shady, cunning, you know what I mean? Like we could see him as he is now, like you know, on the surface, but he could really activate like Killua flipping the switch and all of a sudden have like a very, you know, cunning dialogue, very different personality, like split personality, almost kind of situation inside of his character. But another thing here, the way that I took it, when I first looked at this, your survival instinct is monstrous panel, is I just thought this is so cool that we're in a feudal Edo period Japanese history story, and you give the main character a spider sense. Oh, yo, like this is incredible right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
definitely.
I'm super excited to see how like Matsui does this. If this is going to be like a thing outside of just his character trait of being elusive, is it actually going to work as a superpower? You know, what I mean? Like that's what I want to see.
Right.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Love it.
Going to this next page, this is one again. I love when you have like. Well, and we can even kind of
48.
But we can even kind of stay on what you were saying, because I mean it all really leads into it. Like when you're saying you have an unmatched talent for staying alive, and you throw that walking the line between life and death. That's pretty wild too. But Takauji may have slain many lords and seized power, but you will vex him because he can't kill you. You'll be escaping death, but like, how are we going to do it? Of course, and then you go to the next page. Victory will require more than running and hiding.
Yes.
We need comrades. Boom, we got them. Military might. They also kind of represent military might.
Yeah.
Wisdom. He is the wisdom, right?
Right.
Like, at least your
as far as we know so far. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. As far as we know so far, I will provide these so that you may win. You know, it's man, it's just so there's so many other factors on how we win. It's not going to be I just shonen win, right?
One
like there's so many other things, definitely.
Well, and don't these
it's going to be more than just fighting, right?
Like when on the comrades page, don't these character designs in the comrades, especially old girl with the lance, doesn't it
the Naginata,
doesn't it, or the Naginata, doesn't it, or isn't that a Bicento? Anyway.
Whatever.
Something like
not an expert.
Yeah, me neither. But doesn't her character design feel like Negima? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like the character designs in the comrades specifically, because everyone else is obviously wearing appropriate garb. I mean, and they're wearing appropriate garb too, but you could tell that it's a little bit more fashionable, stylistic. You know, than what was regular in the time. So, and just young, you know, like young comrades, like child comrades is really cool. It fits, you know, for the main character, you know what I mean? But like, I just got like a huge like UQ holder, like Negima, like vibe from that page.
There is they use a lot of traditional clothing, but put fashion, you know, fashionistic spin, fashionist, is that a word? Whatever. Fashionable, that's probably fashionable spins on it. You know, and like she looks like, you know, like just like a regular priestess, but she has like, you know, short shorts instead of like a full kikyo type dress, right? Like So
I'm actually gonna look Setsuna, because I feel like she looks like Setsuna.
Yeah, a little bit about like Setsuna. It's like a combination of Setsuna and Kanoka. And they, you know, have a relationship anyway, so it's like they are almost, it feels like they are one person at a lot of the time. But like I mean, when you know that all these other things are going to matter, you know, in the development of this story here, we're going to get a lot of other fucking things than just shonen fucking fighting and I mean, there, as long as I get, you know, a bunch of fucking moving parts, and it's just not going to be this one guy chasing this kid, because that's not what it's going to be. Like you can just tell right away. There's going to be so many things, so many other elements,
bro. Just because of
so
how
many
much
other
was
elements in the story.
First, like there's so many like you were just saying, like comrades, military might, wisdom. Like you're just listing off so many reasons. Like that's going to be so many like reasons why the plot, you know, diverges off to like focus on those areas. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have a lot going on while the narrative is expanding. You know,
for sure. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
It's like I'm so excited for the world building. You know what I mean? And I'm so excited for the rest of the main cast to be fleshed out, because it's like if Suwa and Hojo are written this well already, you know what I mean? Like this cast is going to be stellar, bro. You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to bring up my final Assassination Classroom throwback here, whatever connection here. So go to page 50. Chapter. Go to page 50. You have the obvious question, right? Hojo Tokiyuki is like, you know, Suwa, like, what do you want exactly? Like, why are you helping me, right? And he's like, oh, I do this out of loyalty. You probably don't believe a fraud like me. I will explain someday, but only once you've reclaimed it, right? This is the exact setup of kind of like Assassination Classroom, in the sense that like when you first encounter Assassination Classroom, you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is this dude a yellow octopus? Why does he want to teach a class of middle schoolers to be assassins? You know what I mean? Like, why is he doing this? And at the end, like by the end, it is completely answered, right? This here, I guarantee you, whatever his real reason is, it is going to be so fucking emotional. It's going to hit so hard. Like I just guarantee it. Like just get ready for it.
I'm thinking about so many possibilities right now. Just from you saying that, like, what could the ties to? It has to be some kind of, not has to be, but like what I'm thinking of from you saying that is like he's related to dude in some way.
I mean, I don't know, but I just know one thing. I only know one thing. It's going to fucking slap. That's all you need to know. Just let it happen. Basically what I was saying here. But
I would really like it if Suwa like I was explaining before, sees events in the future, but is left to interpret them himself. And he really has seen enough things to he has a hypothesis on what's going to happen, right? Like he doesn't know for sure. And I just think like, it's like, hey, I saw these things in your future. And like, I put these pieces of the puzzle together. And it's just like, I think this is how things are going to go. And I have to make sure that this happens. And like an Ano Un, since our chapter today, like it's I feel like a very similar thing. I need to make sure I steer fate in the right direction, you know.
Yes.
Like, and it'd be pretty hype, but I would also just love some fucking political deep bombs, like
I'm
your seventh cousin, ninth removed here.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was like, man, it's got to be some kind of family emotional, like I don't even know. But since you're bringing up Undead Unluck, I did want to say that during our conversation, I got like a very Tozuka feeling from something that Kiko said, multiple things that Kiko said, because Kiko pointed out how the Matsui with Takauchi, right?
Yeah, Takauchi.
Takauchi on page 36 or 37. You can't run from me, young lord. Holding Hojo. Like that was, that was set up. You know what I mean? As a I don't know how Keiko said it earlier, but he said it perfectly.
It's just the foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
breadcrumb. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like little shit like that left in little symbolism, little tiny instances of symbolism like that, or metaphors, or whatever. And then there's another one like earlier when he was like that demon one that he said like
it's all the way at the beginning.
Playing hide and seek or whatever.
Hide from the demon. And he runs from dude, and dude catches him then too. Takauchi catches him then too. So it's like twice, boom, like you can't get away.
Exactly. And it's like if we're going to be getting like, I'm not going to say Tozuka level, even though it's weird.
Right.
It's weird.
No, wait for my shit today.
No. Well, it's wow. Okay. It's weird that I'm very excited, but it's weird that that I'm saying I'm not going to say Matsui can do what Tozuka is doing when Matsui is like the established mangaka and Tozuka's like the new jack. But like Tozuka's already like put himself out there like this is like my thing inside of
this
manga.
Man's a fucking god, bro.
Like Tozuka is like who you think of when you think like super deep meta, like foreshadowing and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like he's carving his lane there. But to see the kind of shit that we praise Undead Unluck for to such a high degree in the first chapter of a manga coming out of an established manga, it's like how I don't think I've ever been more excited for a story. From chapter one than this. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
Wow.
Absolutely. So getting into the end of the chapter here. So page 51, I just love this bottom panel on page 51 where Tokiyuki is like, thanks to you, I've awakened to the joy of life. The line work, the art on this panel, so crisp, it just fucking, it's so good. The tears, I can't.
And the eyes and the level of the line work on the white line.
On the hair.
So like, it's just like level of care like that. Cause it's like, okay, obviously I'm putting a lot of detail in this collection of hair. I don't want it to be, missed in the chaos of the rest of the hair design. So you put like what I just love.
No, it's
high quality. It's high quality.
Very high quality, yes.
It's wild how deep you can look into his eyes on this panel. On a 2D, this is two-dimensional, but I feel like I can peer deep into his eyes. Like I'm seeing multiple levels of depth. Like it's just like that shit is wild. Like this shit is going to be top tier. There's just no way this isn't going to be the best news story coming out. This is 2021. This is it right
rookie.
Here.
This is rookie of the year for 2021.
I'm already calling. Yep, I agree. I'm already calling it for sure. For sure.
Come on, man.
It's hard. Got the drip for 2021.
Yeah, got the
Going into the last two pages, Suwa, saying like, I'll serve you unto the pits of hell, right? And then this last page is pretty beautiful. It's a quite intricate drawing or whatever, like pretty.
Feels like a Witch Hat Atelier fucking panel.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh.
Well, y'all have anything more to say about the Elusive Samurai? This has been a fantastic conversation.
Yes, it has been a fantastic conversation. And this is chapter 1.
Chapter 1. And we are, I think I'll speak for everyone when I say, we are incredibly excited to cover this with y'all on the Special Grade Podcast, starting from Chapter 1 here, going forward, you know what I mean? I'm so excited and happy to have you here with us on the Special Grade Podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my God.